Hello, welcome back to another video. I hope everyone is doing wonderful. It's been a little while since I posted, at least in my perspective, because I was doing it almost like by a weekly situation. But first and foremost, I just wanted to say thank you so much for all of the love and support with subscribing and liking and commenting on my last video. It was my full-on tour of everything that I own in my space, plant related. And it just did really good. It did a lot better than I was expecting. I've only been posting for about a month, so to have that much growth, at least to me, is a ton. So much love. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I'm really excited. Spring is here, or yeah, it should be spring by now. And I really want to go ham on the plants that I have in my space now more than anything. One of my personal goals I've been thinking about is just to see more growth on things versus bringing in a lot of stuff. I'm a very materialistic person, I'll 100% admit it, and so I very much enjoy collecting and getting new plants and things of that nature, but I'm gonna try to cut back, and really just put effort and emphasis on what I have here, and look about what needs to be repotted, what needs adjustments. I know one of my main goals this year, I think, is I want to repot everything that I have into a substrate that I know, or at least I know what is in it. There's a lot of plants here that I have not repotted in years, and they're still in like the nursery pots with the nursery mix. So one, it's just well due, but two, I think it'd be really nice to know exactly what everything is in, to have a better idea, and just to help me keep track of what's going on. One of my other things I really want to do too in regards of like just spring and then just in the growing season is I really want to fertilize. And I say that and I get really busy, and then it becomes one of those tasks sometimes where instead of me fertilizing and taking more intricate care, it is me just having to water everything, in 20 minutes and call it a day until the next time, just because of how busy I get. Today though, we're gonna do a couple plants that I want to just get repotted and kind of trim up and get something going with them. They're not doing bad by any means, but I feel like it's time to give them a little bit of like a zhizh, if that makes sense. So that is what we're gonna do today. And to start that off, we are going to be potting this cute little Hoya Compacta Varigata. I've had this one not for too long. I got it in the 4-inch. This all here was new, and then I'm getting some new growth here. It did look like it started to kind of drop some of the leaves, which I was bummed with, but it looks like I'm getting some more growth, which is exciting. It gets a ton of sun on my west-facing window, and it's been doing really good. Even through this entire winter time, this Hoya has been getting bone dry almost weekly, maybe every 10 or so days. So I think it's time to get it popped up. And like I said, the main goal about repotting it is just to get it more into a mix that I can kind of keep tabs on. I did water a lot of stuff the last 2 days, so it's a little moist still. I do already have my soil mix pre-made this time in my little white pot that I never use as a pot, but just as a soil mixer. So we're gonna get right into it. Like I said, I just watered it, so it's gonna be probably a little bit more on the wet side. But I haven't had this plant for too long. It's one that I have been fascinated in. I really do enjoy Hoyas. I think they're super fun, and there's some very stunning foliage type Hoyas that I've just kind of seen. The Polynera was one of the ones that I first saw that I was just like enamored by, and I was like, oh, I need to have this, which I do. It's just not doing anything really. And yeah, the Hoya Compacta was one of those ones as well too. We got them at my work in these 4 inches, and so I immediately picked up because I was like, oh, I've been hunting for one. Later on, we got them in 6 inches, and I honestly was like, you know what? It's fine. They're not that like as grown out as I would expect. I don't feel like it's too much of a loss. And then we got them in the 8 inches like a month later, and I had to do everything in my might to just ignore them because they were so grown out, they were so lush, just beyond beautiful, like what you expect when you see like a mature Hoya Compacta. Another thing for me in like repotting this Hoya and the majority of my other Hoyas, because I only have maybe 3 or 4, none of the ones that I've gotten them to bloom. So that's kind of another like personal mission of mine. Would really like to get one to bloom. I think that would be fascinating, especially too because I always see the photos and videos of them blooming online, and none of them have done it for me yet. And I know it has to do, I think, too, with the growing season and just like fertilizing. It wasn't something I really was doing last year or like last growing season. I was just not the way I should have been, and just not feeling as confident as I should have when it came to actually going through and fertilizing plants in general. Here is what I have left from the roots. I don't want to mess with them too much. I don't think I've repotted a Hoya before, so I don't know really how sensitive their root system is. I know a lot of people say they're a little bit more shallow, so I think I'm good with how it is here. And then I'm just gonna pot it right in this terracotta. I've been using it more as like a cache pot, but I feel like it'll be a good mix. I think it's a nice and compact enough where it won't be too big of a jump from the little 4-inch. I mean, it's the same size in theory, you know? Plus it's in the terracotta, it'll help absorb the moisture a little bit more. So I think we're cooking with fire here. I've been thinking about maybe getting a specific fertilizer in the future that was more of a focus towards blooms, more than anything, but this one's small. I might be asking for too much too soon. So I don't know, I'll have to kind of wait and see. I feel like I just need to do more research on Hoyas in general. By no means have I found them hard or irritating. In my opinion, as long as you have a really bright space, I feel like they're pretty low maintenance plants, past just like I said, the lighting. Now, I'm wondering if I should try to clump it up a little bit more maybe, or do I like it just kind of like this? It looks a little bit too spaced out. I think I might try to see if I can get this one to come up a little bit more with the other ones. I've been super busy, which is why I haven't been as consistent with videos as I was kind of hoping to be in the beginning. Someone at my job ended up getting COVID, so I started picking up some more shifts just to make sure. I've mentioned it kind of slightly, but I work at a nursery, and it's a very small one, so there's only a handful of us, so I had to kind of jump in and help out there. And then yesterday I ended up going to see Taylor Swift live for the first show of the Eras tour, which was super fun. By no means am I a super big like Taylor Swift fan, but it was a phenomenal performance. I love live music, so I'm always just happy to go when I can. I ended up going to that yesterday with my partner, which was lots of fun. It wasn't as hectic as I thought it was gonna be, but still really, really good energy. And like I said, I love just live music in general. It's very hard for me not to enjoy an artist when they're performing live. I think that's when music is the best. Other than me rambling on about my weekend, I think I'm just gonna call it here. I'll give it a nice little watering towards the end of the video or after I'm done recording everything. It's a little spaced out, it's a little, but it just got repotted. I'll let it adjust and whatnot. And like I said, hopefully this will help with new growth. Maybe we'll get some blooms in the future. And it just looks nicer potted in a terracotta pot versus being in a little catch cup that was inside the terracotta. This is our first plant all done and ready to go back to its home. Here is the next one. It is a Dapsis. I do not know the exact type of Dapsis. I don't know the Latin name nor the common name. I know it's like Dapsis. I thought it was like Dapsis silver something, but I saw silver and I don't think that's what it was. It looked like almost like the opposite, where it was more, the silver and looked a lot more gray versus like darker green. So I don't know. If you know, please let me know so that way I can start pronouncing it and putting it in the videos properly. I have been growing this one just in its little nursery pot still. I popped a little trellis in the back and I've just had it sitting in the terracotta, kind of like the last plant. And I don't want this one to actually get any bigger. I actually love how small it is, but I want to clean it up. It has like this kind of dingy vine, which I'm not feeling as much. It's a little sparse in the center area. So I feel like it's time just to give it a good trim and clean up, and just to get it repotted while we're at it as well too. So it's gonna go right into this terracotta as well. Like I said, I like the smaller size of it, so I don't plan on trying to do anything super crazy for it other than repot it. Looking at it though, you can kind of see it's kind of doing stuff, but I have this like vine right here that's like half hanging out. So like, let's get that repotted in. I have a lot of stuff here, so I might even try to repot just some of the nodes straight into the soil and then maybe see, cause like, yeah, it's just kind of goofy. Just a kind of goofy plant. And like that vines all the way to the front side. Yeah, this plant is kind of a mess. So I definitely want to go through and clean it up a little bit more. After kind of untangling everything, this is kind of what it looks like right now. It's a lot more grown up than I expected, but it's just completely bare in the center. So I'm not really feeling that anymore. So let's go through, let's get it repotted. And I think I'm gonna try to tuck maybe 1 or 2 of these extra vines, like something like this. I might just try to wrap it around and pin it down, or maybe even afterwards, I might go get bobby pins or something and try to do it that way. I've done that before on my pothos, and that was kind of a nice way to pin the nodes down. And the soil is already kind of separating itself, so it's gonna, oh yeah, cool. This will be pretty easy to get it off, it looks like. Oh, nice. I didn't have to do anything. We love that. This is what I'm left with now. It's just a span of roots and leaves all tangled up too. I feel like I could very much separate this plant apart if I wanted to, but not the goal. We got the terracotta here, another little 4-inch one. Just do a nice little bottom layer. It's grown so wonky, so I don't really know how much, I don't know what I want out of this anymore, other than it to be small and cute. That's as much as I have mentally. I got it kind of potted up. I found this nice little center node. I'm gonna bobby pin it down because it's gonna keep moving up, but that's gonna fill it in a lot nicer, and it's gonna bring out some growth this way, hopefully. I think that's gonna be the play. I think I'm gonna chop this. I think I'm just gonna go for it, and then, I don't know, maybe I'll propagate it. I do have that cute little vase. Oh, I have flowers in the vase right now, so maybe not. I have this really cool vase that can, like, I can flip it and turn it into either a vase or a prop station, dependingly, and I really, really, really freaking love it. It's so cool. I have flowers in there right now because I had a friend come by, that I had a couple friends come by for like a nice dinner, and it was super sweet. They ended up bringing over those flowers, and it was right after my other ones had just kind of started to die off. So it was like perfect timing. It felt very planned, and I'm starting to enjoy having just flowers in a vase a lot more, which was super interesting. I never really cared for flowers before, other than like when they bloom. Like if a plant blooms and the flowers in there, that's like exciting to me. But other than that, I don't really care too much, but I think I'm starting to like flowers a little bit more. I think this is gonna be the setup. I have to bobby pin a couple of parts in, but I think I like this a lot more. It should hopefully grow in a little bit more in the center and be a little bit more lush and not look so just stemmy. And I think it has a nice little flow. I still have this extra tail. I'm gonna think about it. I might cut it up and do like propagations, either in a prop box, or I'll use the little vase and do it that way. I'm very much happy with how this turned out. It looks a lot cleaner, and I just like it being in the terracotta. It just looks a lot better than just having it in the cash cup or the cash pot. And also, no hate if that is done. I do it with a lot of this stuff. A lot of my plants are actually in the nursery pots, in nicer pots. I just wait until the time is right, or if I'm really happy with the pot with that plant, that's usually when I go for it. And with these two, I feel like terracotta, a little 4-inch, I think it's nice and cute and clean. You can't go wrong with it. So there is the Dapsis. Change of plans. Originally wanted to look about repotting my Philodendron Iridescence, my painted lady. It's doing wonderful, other than that the leaves are not getting bigger and it's driving me nuts. And I just wasn't sure what it could be, and I thought maybe it was because of the pot. Maybe, you know, I should refresh the soil. Last time I remember, I thought I had like just cocoa husk chips in there pretty much, and like perlite. So I was like, maybe it's just a lot airier, like maybe it needs a little bit more nutrients. I was like, it had to be something, right? I went to go take it out and to repot it, which by the way, I was gonna just repot it in the same pot because I was that confident that the roots weren't that grown out. there's roots all over the bottom. And so I was just like, well, I shouldn't say all over the bottom, but they're peeking out and they're very healthy. So I'm like, okay, you need a bigger pot. I don't have any 8-inch pots. So I don't want to mess with it just quite yet. Personally want to find a nice pot for it, if I'm being 100% honest. And the stem is getting generally bigger as it goes. I'm just not getting bigger leaves and it's driving me nuts, but I digress. Beyond that point, I want to show off this little guy here. It is a Aguanima Chinese Evergreen. I don't know the Latin name off the top of my head. This used to be lush and full and beautiful, and I totally let it rot out. I don't really have an excuse other than I just didn't feel like taking care of it at the time, so it rotted out. Now, I have been slowly reviving it in perlite, and I want to see if it might be potentially ready for a 4-inch. Because I'm getting new growth on these two, which is really exciting, and I see roots growing on this side, and I just don't know how much is what, and I just want to see if this is potentially ready or if it needs a little bit more time. That's what we're gonna kind of go through and do. I'm just gonna slowly kind of like massage it just to see. I'm gonna grab this first stump and just slowly massage it out. I do not think it's done anything. It dropped all of its leaves and that was kind of it. Oh. Wait, it did root. Okay, this is actually really exciting. Maybe I should grab all of them together because I feel like the root systems are probably a lot more connected in those regards. But yeah, I'm just gonna slowly wiggle it up. And I'll give the cup. Oh, there we go. Okay. Ooh, I might have been making the water line a little too high. It doesn't smell like it's rotting, but it doesn't look good. That bottom area does not look like something I would be happy about. It's really yellow, but it's not rotted, but it doesn't look good. The roots do, but I don't know. I don't know if I should cut that. Putting it in here though, I feel pretty confident with this other one. So I think I might actually go for it today. I don't know if it's too early. Are you squishy? Like that one isn't squishy either. I'm just trying to decide if I should cut the bottom and let it callus and then put it in there or what. I don't know. I don't know what to do. Because if I did put these two in here, right? Oh yeah, no, that looks great. And then even this little, I didn't think this one was doing anything, to be quite honest. And that's not squishy either, but it's giving little roots. It's trying. I see little buds, and I wasn't sure if that meant it was trying to grow new leaves or something, but it's doing its thing. So I think we say like screw it, let's go for it. If it doesn't do good, guess what? I'm gonna do exactly what I did before, and I'm gonna put it back in perlite, and I'm gonna get the roots back to this way. I don't know how long it's been this way, but I did it once, which means I can probably do it again. Probably, I say, because who knows? Okay, I'm just gonna hold them closer together while I get some of this extra soil in here. This is gonna be it. I kind of like how this came out. I wanted to switch them around so like it was a big leaf, kind of make it look all like nice and set up, but this works. I think it's still cute. It has character. Once this grows out a little bit more, I think I'm gonna take it over to the office that I work at. I only work at it in regards of just taking care of their plants and kind of helping like keeping the place clean in general. So like a plant specialist. I don't know if there's a proper term for that, but either way, I think I'm gonna take it over there and put it there. There's a couple spots that I think would look really good if it had a plant, and I just haven't been too sure what, and I think this Aguanima will be really fun once it grows out a little bit more. At some point, I think I'm gonna try to see about shooting a video there because I kind of want to redo a lot of stuff in there, so it could be fun just to see what I do in another space that isn't this space. Now that we have this Aguanima all potted up with the other two, that is going to be the end of today's video. I appreciate you hanging out and watching. I'm really excited for the growing season in general. I'm hoping I can keep on top of things the way I want to. I tend to get very busy very quickly. I don't know how or what, but between work and just like doing freelance work and just everything else, it just time flies. And so sometimes I'm not the best in regards to my plants, but I really want to do a lot better this time around, and I think I can. So once again, I just want to say thank you for everyone for all of the support and encouragement again from the last video and for this video too, and just in general, it means the world to me. If you liked the video, don't forget to subscribe, like, leave a comment. That helps me out tremendously. And once again, just thank you to everyone. I've been having such a fun time talking about my space and my plants, and it's crazy that people like to hear me and see me talk about my stuff. It's weird, but it's very exciting and just very fun. I feel like I get to share a very important piece of me in a way that in person I don't normally get to do. Like if I'm having a conversation with someone, I can tell them and show them photos, but to be able to go more in depth with it's really fun. It's really cool. But yeah, other than that, I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day or night, wherever you may be, and I'll see y'all soon. Later.